program, I used to feel that life is just going out of my hand. But this program was doing, and the fasting accelerated, I think, the speed of mental and emotional imbalance. And now I feel that everything is now in my hand. I feel that I can take charge of things. So that was a huge shift throughout the month.
I was trending from double XL to triple XL in my dress size, and I have come back to my double XL, and my knee pain is gone, which was the last 6 months biggest issue I had. I couldn't walk, but it is gone. And if I strain too much, it is the feet pain. Small issues are there, but my major pain was the knee pain, which is gone. I hope that if I continue doing this and I succeed in losing more weight, and things can get better. I don't want anybody to face what I faced in my life. It's very tough. Being a woman, being what we have to do in our lives, the responsibilities hold, not only physically but emotionally. I think it's great. Continue, guys, all of you. All the best, and I really hope this works for all of you and you guys get healthy.
For me, a lot of good changes have happened over the last couple of weeks. Starting with my menstrual flow. So I would say that has got better as compared to what it was earlier. I think skin glow has increased a lot. And second thing is that my dark circle has started reducing. I'm very convinced that I would like to follow this diet at least for in the long term.
I was diagnosed with 4 big size of fibroids in around the same time lockdown last year, and due to some extensive exercises and physical workout, 1.5 years I went through hell. I tried everything: Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Siddha medicine, everything. I've tried everything and it just didn't work. I also tried hormone pills for 3 months, and that just thickened my wall and had some complications. So a friend of mine suggested to do this program, and I did this program. I was still going through hell during the program. There were many days in the program my video will be off because I'll be going through so much pain and cramps that I'll be lying down, and I cannot even attend the program properly. The situation was really bad. As I followed the diet that they are suggesting, and medicines and supplements, just the lifestyle, I would say that I was just determined that, okay, fine. I asked doctor how much time it will take for me to heal, So she said about 4 to 6 months. I said, okay, 4 to 6 months, I'm going to devote myself to whatever they are saying. So I went through, and every month it was definitely difficult, but every month it started getting better. Since last month, there is no pain. I mean, I don't know, it's like not less than magic for me. It's bearable, very bearable, I would say. No pain. Yes, bleeding is still there, but it's changing. I would say every month I see something, a drastic change. ऐसा नहीं है कि थोड़ा-थोड़ा change हो रहा है. It's a drastic change. So I don't know, मैं जितना कहूँ उतना कम है, but I'm ready to share how much ever possible I'm willing to do, and I just hope that you take this step and just go through the program.
So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our session of Rediscovering Your Health. Most of you joining us today have faced problems in areas of diabetes, PCOS, thyroid disorders, autoimmunity, obesity, and gut health. We are here today to address these issues via the functional medicine approach. So welcome. I'm Dr. Ratika. I'm a functional medicine clinician. We would also like to know what brings you here today. So you can put your answers in the chat. So yes, few of the answers like gut health, goiter, autoimmunity. Okay. So I see most of you who have joined us today have issues in the field of hypothyroidism, autoimmunity. Many of you are saying autoimmunity. Okay. So I'll also start a poll now and you can leave your answers. Okay, the poll is launched. I request all of you to fill up your answers. Okay. Yes, Ms. Vinti, we will discuss about urticaria and other issues that are commonly seen these days. Okay. So we will start our session. Okay. So joining us today are two experts in the field of functional medicine. Dr. Ruhi Agarwal, doctor by profession, she has done her master's in global health and certification in functional medicine from USA. She is co-founder of Functional Medicine Clinic and has successfully reversed hormonal imbalances in more than 1,000 women. Dr. Ruhi, I welcome you. I also have Mr. Siddarth Goel. He's a functional medicine expert and a health coach. He's Hatha Yoga trainer. Dr. Ruhi and Mr. Siddarth are creators of the Hormone Reset program, which is a unique program exclusively for women. So let's start the session. I'll hand over to Dr. Ruhi.
Thank you, Dr. Ratika. Thank you so much. And a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us this evening. And I'm pretty sure, pretty confident that by the end of this webinar, you will have many takeaways, to think upon how to now start addressing the chronic health concerns that you guys are dealing with. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So all women who have joined us in the webinar here, and some men have also joined. This webinar is largely focused on women health. So the men who are attending here will gain some insights into various ways how they can assist their wife, their daughters in regaining their health. So let's start with some of the most common myths that we hear on a daily basis. The first one is period pain, cramps, all the PMS symptoms that a woman experiences every month, all those are normal. And it's considered normal because everyone around you is experiencing it. And when anything is so common, it is just assumed that that's how it should be. But Fortunately, that's not the truth. Period. If any woman is really going through severe pain every month, those 5-7 days of the month are like a big trouble for her, definitely things are not okay. Things need to be fixed. So the first myth is PMS symptoms are normal. Most of the time when it comes to hormonal imbalances, irregular periods, or missed periods, heavy periods, this one common solution that's offered is a hormonal pill. Now again, allowing your body to be dependent on pills from outside is like allowing, you're outsourcing your hormonal physiology to someone else. And as a result of which, your body's own hormonal physiology will completely be shut down eventually. And hormonal pills are not the solution for your hormonal imbalances. That's only a band-aid fix. You're just giving some synthetic pills from outside so that you may get your periods on time. But then what's really causing those hormonal issues are never going to be fixed unless you address the root causes. Most of the time, women resort to agree that, period problems is another problem, which is very different from the rest of the body. But the way our body is designed, that the periods tell very much about how a woman feels on a daily basis. It's so much about her productivity. It's so much about her energy levels, how she feels, how she, how the skin is, how the hair is. So it's about so many different things. So if there are any hormonal imbalances at the age of 13 or 14 years, you cannot wait to be 25 or 30 to fix that problem, because it's going to affect your body on a daily basis. And the entire body is a connected system, and so is your ovary, your uterus. It's all connected to the rest of your body. So if there is something going wrong with hormonal imbalances, we need to correct the liver function, we need to correct the gut function, because everything is impacted. Another most common myth is, if you want to lose weight, start eating less. Well, the calorie science doesn't work anymore. It's old science. If you need to lose weight, you first need to address what's going wrong in the body, address the inflammatory markers, address the heavy metals. So just eating less will only cause more trouble to you, will only make you more nutrient deficient. Many of you are here because of thyroid issues, and I'm sure more than 80% of those who are here struggling with a thyroid issue are also on thyroid pills. And most of the time, when people start taking it, it becomes their friend for life. So early in the morning, it's a thyroid pill that you take. Now, again, this is again like outsourcing your thyroid function to a pill. It's again a band-aid fix. If you're not fixing anything which is causing your hypothyroidism, be it autoimmunity, be it nutrient deficiency, be it inflammation, so many things, you are just trying to manage somehow your thyroid lab values. Definitely, it's not going to fix your symptoms. You're just managing your thyroid lab ranges. And again, one very important myth, I would say, because many of you are here also because of autoimmune conditions. The moment you're diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, you're made to believe that this is incurable. You'll have to live with this for life now, and you'll have to be on certain medications. So basically, you just feel that life has become so compromised, and it's going to be a struggle. Let's understand, autoimmune conditions have come because of a reason. It did not happen over time. So if you are able to identify the reasons why it has come and work on correcting them, you can live a life free of any autoimmunity. So we will talk about a lot of these in our in the next 1 hour. Now, how many of you are actually looking for liberation And when I say liberation, liberation from pain, liberation from a bad skin, you want to lose your weight, you want better sleep, you're struggling with hair loss, and you want to now be liberated from that. You wake up in the morning and your face is puffed. Your periods are a pain for you. So how many of you are looking for liberation from all these? Okay, I see many of you are looking for liberation for this. Now, if we really want to live a life which is free of all these health problems, we need to start changing our perspective towards how we look at diseases. Most of the time, hormonal imbalances, when we hear of hormonal imbalances, we think of just, the problem around the periods, the problem around fertility. That's what it's all about. But hormonal imbalances can show up in so many ways, so many various ways. One very common these days that we see is, for example, chronic migraines. Women are struggling with severe headaches, and one week every month, it's just taken for accepted that, okay, I will be having these migraines at least for 1 week or 10 days. It's just become a part of my life. But that, again, the underlying reason is hormonal imbalance. Similarly, acne breakout, again, yes, that's common. Uterine fibroids, endometriosis, thyroid issues, you're not able to lose your weight. Hair loss is terrible. You see hair growth in different parts of the body. Mood swings are terrible. It seems the entire burden of the world is on you. Gut issues are becoming very common, especially during the periods. We see many women experiencing really bad gut issues, really, really bad bloating. You start getting into anxiety, irritability. So hormonal issues is not just about period problems. This is about so many other things which are just kind of taken for granted. So if we really want to address these, we need to change how we look at diseases. And one symptom, for every symptom, we cannot take a pill. So an approach where we just keep on managing symptoms cannot work, because if that be the case, then here for 15 of these issues, you need 15 different pills. And that's crazy. So we need to stop treating each symptom separately, rather look at look at the entire body as one. And just going on the pill is not the solution, because then you will need to end up taking 15, 20 different pills. So what we really need is take a step back and look at the root causes, identify the root causes. Every issue in our body has come because of various reasons. If we identify them and then fix them, we can live a disease-free life. Now let's understand what are the main drivers of hormonal imbalances. So if we have to, let's say, put them into two main buckets, the first one is insulin resistance, which basically results from high levels of insulin. Now, most of you may know about the hormone insulin, which largely is mostly heard about when it comes regarding blood sugar levels. So someone has diabetes, so it's insulin resistance, or someone has type 1 diabetes, they take insulin. Now, insulin plays a very important role in hormonal imbalance. And what does it do basically? Now, whenever we, it's largely plays a role in blood sugar metabolism. When you take a diet which is rich in carbs, the insulin will be released to push that glucose into the cells. Now, if your diet is rich in refined carbs, you do not move your body is loaded with toxins, you have nutritional deficiencies, you are chronically stressed, all these are contributors to impairing your mitochondrial function, which basically mean if the engine of the body is not working, which is the mitochondria, the cells will not be able to function well, and the cells will become insulin resistant. And as a result, you will have high blood sugar levels, but that's not just the case. That is so that is one of the symptoms of insulin resistance, and the others are all related to hormonal imbalance. The second is high estrogen in the body. And this, where are you getting this high estrogen? Estrogen is a very important hormone which our body makes, but every hormone, after being produced, after being utilized in the body, they have to be metabolized and removed from the system. Now, if this normal physiology does not happen, it will start accumulating in our body. And that's what results in estrogen dominance. So your liver isn't function very well, as a result of which the second phase metabolism of estrogen does not happen, and estrogen metabolites are accumulating in the body. You are chronically constipated, your gut health is not good. So again, the metabolites are accumulating, reabsorbed in the body, leading to estrogen dominance. Or you're putting on a lot of weight, which again can be because of insulin resistance. So insulin resistance resulting in estrogen dominance. And there are so many other sources of xenoestrogen, which are basically, xenoestrogens are nothing but estrogen mimicking chemicals or ingredients, which are pretty much common in our life today. So how does high insulin levels now give you, the symptoms of PCOS, for example? So high levels of insulin resistance, high levels of insulin in the blood basically will result in high blood sugar levels, which now these blood glucose have to go somewhere. If they're not being pushed into the cell, they have to go somewhere. So they start depositing in your liver, giving you a fatty liver. Your lipid profile will be off range. Your cholesterol is high. Now, it not just deposits only in the liver, but then it also starts depositing in your body, giving you that stubborn body fat, which is difficult to lose, typically in the belly or on the sides of the body, on your back, on your face. So that's how, insulin resistance is contributing to weight gain. Now, weight gain means more fat cells, and more fat cells means more conversion to estrogen. And that's how insulin resistance is contributing to estrogen dominance. Now, high insulin levels also make the male hormones, more conversion to male hormones, which is androgens. And that's why when a woman has hormonal imbalances, she starts experiencing a lot of acne, starts getting a lot of hair loss, unwanted hair growth starts happening. So if we were to fix all these, we have to go and fix our insulin resistance, which again trickles down to what kind of life we are living. Let's look at estrogen dominance. What is causing estrogen dominance? So as I said, a bad liver, a bad gut health, your exposure to all those chemicals, and these xenoestrogens can come from your dairy products, because they are loaded with hormones, your meat products, because meat today is loaded with a lot of hormones, a lot of plastic exposure. So all these are sources of xenoestrogen, and estrogen dominance manifest in the way of, they will cause severe PMS symptoms, because in the second phase of your menstrual cycle, progesterone should dominate, but then even during that period, if the estrogen is still high, it will give you symptoms of severe PMS, severe cramps, severe pain, bloating, irritability, heavy periods, painful periods, missed periods, breast lumps, cystic ovaries, endometriosis, fibroids. So all these are symptoms of estrogen dominance. So if now we have to correct these symptoms of estrogen dominance, we have to go back to whether your liver health is good, whether your gut health is good, whether you are exposed to a lot of xenoestrogens. So this way, there are many root causes that's actually at the root of most of the health concerns that we are facing today. And the first one is a poor diet. Now, if you see the diet, a diet which is rich in refined carbs and sugar is definitely unhealthy. So if your diet is white rice every day, you are adding fuel to the fire. Many times people say, oh, I'm eating home cooked food. But if your home cooked food is white rice twice a day, is a wheat chapati 3 times a day, that home cooked food is not doing you any good. Any processed food, any food where a human intervention has happened and made it processed, it has lost its nutrient value. If your diet is rich in seed oils and refined oils, again, it's contributing to inflammation in your body. Soil anyways today has become devoid of minerals today because, the top layer of the soil is hardly is depleted. And again, if your diet itself is low in, antioxidants, rich food and veggies, again, many nutrient deficiencies will creep in. Again, the water that we are drinking is largely, RO water, which basically is a dead water. It's unstructured water. So you may be drinking, thinking you're drinking the best quality of water, but actually they're not hydrating your cells. So today, lack of structured drinking water is also contributing to ill health. And of course, if you eat dairy products, you eat meat products, and your source of these products are not right, they are another major contributor to ill health, because the conventionally raised dairy and meat products are all loaded with hormones, they're loaded with antibiotics, and these, when we take, they mess up our system. We are loaded, now we are exposed to so much of toxins around us, and some of the sources of xenoestrogens are all conventional beauty products. They are loaded with various chemicals which are mimicking estrogen in our body. So it's very important that when any brand that you choose for your beauty product, it has to be a clean label brand. Water, it's important that you filter the water. So if you're not filtering the water and drinking it directly, you are exposing your body to a lot of xenoestrogen because you don't know from where that water has passed through. So it may have heavy metals, it may have certain chemicals which are xenoestrogen. Most of the conventional cleaning products are loaded with, again, xenoestrogens. And so basically your skin is coming in contact with these areas which you have cleaned with the conventional cleaning products. So you can imagine how high is your exposure to these xenoestrogens. Plastics, if you are storing food in the plastics, water in the plastics, cooked food in the plastics, you are you're taking a lot of microplastics in a way. Your exposure to BPA is high, which is not good for your health. And if you are chronically stressed all the time, your body will least focus on metabolism, your body will not focus on reproduction. And as a result, the gut motility can slow down, the entire metabolism can slow down. All the conventional dairy and animal products are sources of xenoestrogen. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, if your gut health is not good, so many women do not realize they are struggling with chronic constipation, and eventually all the hormonal imbalances creep in. Autoimmunity comes in. So many metabolic dysfunction come in. And one of the starting points was poor gut health. And of course, if you are on synthetic pills, hormonal pills, it is a xenoestrogen for your body. So bad liver health. Imagine if you have a lot of infections and your body is constantly fighting those infections. Your liver is too busy in fighting those infections. It cannot process the metabolites of the estrogen. If your gut health is not good, you have a leaky gut, you have unwanted pathogens in your gut, again, you're just absorbing toxins back into the body. You're not able to digest your food. You eat something and you feel you've eaten so much. Your body is low on stomach acid. You're low on digestive juices. So all these are contributors to ill gut health, and your gut motility is bad. And together, poor liver health, poor gut health is a perfect platform for various health issues in the body. You can whether it be PCOS, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, autoimmunity, you name it, it is the starting point of various health issues in the body. Again, we see very often the gallbladder is removed. Now, gallbladder plays such an important role in fat metabolism. If a gallbladder is removed, there is no bile formation, and bile is very important for the absorption of fat. And why fat is important? Because every hormone in our body is made up of fat. So imagine if a person does not have a gallbladder, their fat metabolism is basically not happening. So how can we expect now the hormones to be formed well? Every cellular structure in our body is made up of fat and protein. So the fat component is not there in the body anymore. So of course the cellular structure is bad. And if the cellular structure is bad, the mitochondrial function will also be not good, and basically the cell's engine is not working well. So mitochondria, all of us have read in our as a child, the kidney shaped structure, which is the energy house of the body. Today it's very well known, and it's one of the most important thing that is critical to any healthy body. And if your body has a lot of infections, if your body is loaded with toxins, if you're spending a lot of time on laptop or on mobile phones, if you're surrounded with artificial white light during the day, during the night, you are impairing your mitochondrial function. You're basically making your cell's engine work slow. You're not drinking a good quality of water. You're low on various nutrients like B complex, carnitine, CoQ10, lipoic acid. All these are slowing down the engine of your system. You're feeling chronically fatigued, and you're not able to figure out why you are so tired every day. That is because of poor mitochondrial health. You're forgetting things. That is poor mitochondrial health. So this way, there are so many signs and symptoms of poor mitochondrial health, which usually go undiagnosed. But then if we only start identifying, these things, we can start correcting them. So these were some of the root causes that's at play. And I'll have Siddarth cover other root causes, which are again very critical. So the ones that I spoke about is something that you can see on a daily basis. Now, Siddarth will take you over some of the less recognized root causes, which play a very critical role.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. You have explained a very complex set of concepts in a very easy to understand manner, and I hope our participants are able to connect and understand these. There's so many missing links in our understanding about chronic ailments, and it's very important to start understanding their connections, because unless you understand that connection, you always keep wondering, why is this happening to me? Okay, and you never get an answer. And unless you understand why it's happening, what are the connections, there is no possibility of you ever solving the problem, isn't it? So with that, let's jump into what we feel is a very important part of the problem, which is chronic stress. Okay, so we'll first look at a few physical changes that happen. Okay, the moment you are stressed out in terms of hormonal changes, the first thing that happens is your body starts increasing the secretion of stress hormones. Okay, and all of you, I'm sure you already know, cortisol is one of those hormones which helps your body to handle stress, right? So the moment you create stress in your mind, any kind of stress, it could be irritation, anger, frustration, fear, jealousy, it doesn't matter. Any negative feeling, if you create, your cortisol levels will go up. The moment cortisol goes up, your blood sugar level will go up. Okay, there is a very important reason why the body is doing this. Okay, it's not a as far as the body is concerned, it is the right thing to do. Okay, the problem is, it is supposed to happen once in a while. Okay. But it's happening all the time for most of us, and that is why it is causing health issues. When your blood sugar goes up, following that, immediately the body also starts secreting more insulin. And this is one of the reasons how we can build insulin resistance that Dr. Ruhi just explained as one of the root causes of all PCOS and reproductive hormone related issues, including also impacting the thyroid function. Yes. So this is exactly what I explained, right? So when cortisol is high, blood sugar is high, more insulin is secreted. And when your insulin levels remain high, your cells become insulin resistant, which is exactly the root cause of so many of your health issues. Not only that, a large number of you have mentioned thyroid related issues. Okay. You may not understand this, nobody might have told you, but the moment cortisol levels go up in the body, the thyroid production will go down. Your body will start reducing the production of thyroid hormones. So now you understand the connection of hypothyroidism and stress. Okay. Now, there are many other things that happen. When you are stressed out, do you go looking into your kitchen for the healthy food, for salads and fruits, or do you go looking for all the unhealthy stuff? I want you to answer this. Option one or two. One is healthy, two is the unhealthy ones. Okay. All your fried foods, your carbs, your, coffee, tea. What do you go for? Option two, isn't it? Carbs and fried or caffeine, yes, two. So what we need to realize is because of the changes happening in the chemistry of your body, you will crave unhealthy things. There are deeper, connections also, but we don't have the time to go into all of that. So one thing is stress is creating problem for the body, and then you are aggravating the problem by eating all kinds of unhealthy stuff. You see how it creates disease? And very important for you to understand is that when you are stressed out, okay, technically this is called the fight or flight response, when the sympathetic part of your nervous system becomes dominant. Your body is not interested in healing itself. It is not interested in good digestion. It is not interested in repair. It is not interested in good immune function. Okay. It is not interested in maintaining good metabolism. It is only interested in surviving. Surviving why? Because when you are stressed out, your body thinks, your nervous system thinks that there is some animal, some tiger, lion, somebody who's trying to kill you. That is the only interpretation that your nervous system has. Okay. See, today we can get stressed because of a million reasons. Somebody said something nasty to you, your boss shouted at you, your mother-in-law screamed at you, okay? Or maybe your neighbor bought a bigger car than yours, isn't it? For any reason, we can get stressed out today. So there can be a million reasons, it doesn't matter. When it comes to your nervous system, when it comes to the physical body, it only interprets that as risk to life, okay? And that is exactly what this last point on this slide is telling you. During stress, the body is not interested in anything. It only wants to survive. And the first point, raising your blood sugar, is to survive. Because if you have to survive a wild animal that's trying to kill you, what do you need? You need to be able to run as fast as possible to escape, right? Or you need to be able to fight the animal, for which your muscles need fuel. And sugar is that fuel, right? So body is not doing anything wrong. We are creating the wrong environment for the body by creating stress in our minds all the time. Now, with all of this background, right, so many root causes that Dr. Ruhi explained so nicely, and now that you also have a little bit of understanding of stress, let us look at the symptoms of PCOS. Okay, hair loss, anxiety, depression, acne, belly fat, pain in the lower abdomen, pelvic area, cysts, irregular cycles, weight gain, or difficulty in losing weight, facial hair growth, and different parts of the body hair can grow, dark spots, skin tags, insomnia. Now, when the syndrome Okay, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is not a disease because it's a collection of so many different diverse symptoms. When you have so many diverse symptoms, and by now you have also understood what causes this, right? I want to ask you this question. Can taking just one pill or two pills fix this problem? All of these symptoms? You can please answer with a yes or a no. Deepali says never. Kesri Kumar says no. Preeti says no. Okay. But please tell me, how many have you been just doing that? Going to, the medical system and popping pills? Yes, all of us. Largely all of us, isn't it? So that's exactly what, we are asking you today. Is it time yet for you to change your approach and look at the bigger picture, take a more holistic approach to your health? Is this time yet for that, or no? You want to try pills for some more months and years? Similarly, you look at thyroid, okay? Because I think the maximum highest percentage of, all of you here today have mentioned thyroid as your main problem. Let us look at what are the different factors that impact your thyroid function. First of all, thyroid is not a simple T4 or TSH thing, okay? It's way, way more complex than that, way more sophisticated. In fact, I've recorded a couple of videos on that. You can go and check that on the Hormone Research YouTube channel. Or even if you go to our website, there is a section of blogs. There also you can read, there are 2 blogs on this topic, okay? Now, factors that contribute to proper production of thyroid hormones. The first thing is nutrients, right? See, it's like a small factory here. It needs raw material to produce the finished product. What are the nutrients? Iron, iodine, tyrosine, which is amino acid, zinc, selenium, vitamin E, and many B vitamins, and including vitamin C and D. Now, we'll come back to that later. Let's look on the right side of the screen. Factors that reduce the production of thyroid hormones. The top is stress. I remember I said the moment your cortisol goes up, your thyroid production goes down. Chronic infections can do that. Trauma can do that. Okay. Radiation can do that. Okay. Wi-Fi, 5G, all of this can impact your thyroid. Blue light toxicity, right? We're spending so much time in front of our screens, either laptops or mobile phones. Certain medications can do it. The fluoride in your toothpaste can do this. Okay. And there are many other toxins which can impair the thyroid function. Also, autoimmunity is playing a big role. It is now being understood that almost 90% of hypothyroidism cases have at least a certain amount of autoimmunity involved. Okay. Now, looking at this picture, the thyroid gland produces largely T4. And in the body, in different parts of the body, mainly your liver and kidney, it has to be converted into T3 or reverse T3, RT3. Okay. T3 is the active form. T4 has no impact on your body's metabolism or function. It is T3 that impacts your cells and it makes them do their work properly. Okay. Now, whether T4 will be converted into T3 or reverse T3. Reverse T3 is inactive. Okay. It has no use for the body. Which factors increase the production of reverse T3 and thereby reducing T3 are stress, trauma, low calorie diet. Okay. Dietary, when people try to lose weight and they try to lose weight by eating less, which is a very, very wrong thing to do. Chronic inflammation in the body, toxins, infections, liver or kidney dysfunction, because the conversion happens in these organs, right? And also certain types of medications can do this. And lastly, there are certain factors that can increase the conversion of T4 to T3, and largely it is based on selenium and zinc availability. And obviously you have to reduce the factors which we just spoke earlier, right? The factors which increase the conversion to reverse T3. You reduce those and you make sure there's enough selenium and zinc, body will convert into more T3. And lastly, you may have enough T3 also, but it should be able to go and do its work in the cells. So the cells have to be sensitive to the thyroid hormone. Just like how you understood, right? Insulin your cells can become resistant to insulin. Similarly, your cells can also become resistant to thyroid hormone function. And you need vitamin A and zinc as very important, ingredients, nutrients to ensure that the sensitivity stays in a good range. And also very important is physical activity and exercise. Now, when you have understood so many factors that impact thyroid function, and believe me, there is much more. Okay, I'm only talking about or sharing here the things that are more easy to understand. I have the same question for you. Can that one pill in the morning fix all of these issues? And I want to hear your answers or read your answers. Thank you for those of you who answered in the chat. But you see, there are millions of people across the world who are struggling with thyroid. And this is the only solution that is being offered to them, unfortunately, isn't it? Autoimmunity, right? Again, this is a major problem. And especially in the last 2-3 years, with COVID and all the, jabs that we have taken, autoimmune issues have increased dramatically around us. Okay. Immune systems have gone off balance. Now, one thing that I want all of you to understand is that autoimmunity is something that's happening in your immune function. It's an imbalance. Okay, your immune system has become hyper vigilant or too aggressive. Okay, and in that extra aggressiveness, it is damaging the body itself. Now, this is a condition that's happening across the body. Which part or which organ gets affected will be different for different people. But please understand that the underlying process is the same. Immune function that is out of balance, right? Once that is out of balance, it can impact any organ. That happens later. Okay. Isn't it? So the difference between various autoimmune conditions is just about the organ that is impacted. But the autoimmunity itself is a completely different process. It's happening, somewhere else completely. There are more than 50 or 60 common autoimmune disorders, depending on which part of the body is being impacted negatively. Right? Now, there are many factors in the environment which actually create this, right? Stress, again, is very important. Viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungal infections, medications, hormones, toxins, heavy metals. So many things can trigger autoimmunity. It becomes more of a problem if you're genetically susceptible. Somebody asked this in the chat, that is autoimmunity genetic in nature? No, autoimmunity is not genetic. There is no disease which is genetic in that sense. Okay. However, you may have a certain tendency or a certain function or organ which is weak in your body. So you have a certain tendency. But whether you get the disease or not is completely in your hands. So all autoimmune conditions are essentially the same process occurring in the body: an inflamed, over-aggressive immune system and a continuous trigger. Okay, there is something which is triggering the immune system to behave like that in the over-aggressive, inflamed state, right? Which can be something in your food, which can be something in your environment, which could be, viruses, bacteria, as we mentioned in the previous point. So once again, just taking, steroids or anti-inflammatory and immunosuppressive medications fix autoimmunity? And I think you already know the answer, that they cannot, right? And that is something that you are told everywhere, that once you have autoimmunity, you have to be on medication for the rest of your life. There is no way to reverse it. I'm sorry, that is not true. It doesn't make sense, because autoimmunity is not falling from the sky on your head, isn't it? It's something that is happening in the body. There are certain reasons why it is happening. And if those reasons are identified and addressed, why will it not reverse? Your body knows how to heal itself if we give it the right environment. That is something, that is the single message that, if you want to take just one thing home from today's session, is that your body has an infinite capability to heal itself. The only thing that is missing is the environment. Environment means inside the body, what is happening is environment, not only outside, right? Finally, what is happening inside is what is impacting what the body can do and what it cannot do. So coming to functional medicine, it is an integrative system. It looks at the body as a whole. So we don't really have a specialization. Somebody is a heart specialist, somebody is a brain specialist. Yes, practitioner can focus on some, issues. That's okay. But within functional medicine, there is no such distinction, because the whole understanding is that every organ, every function in your body is connected with everything else. Okay, so fundamentally, actually, functional medicine is the science of understanding these interconnections. Because only then you can actually, dig down deep enough to understand what are the root causes of dysfunction. And only then you can actually address. Only when you can address the root causes will you be able to reverse the condition, instead of just managing the symptoms. So in short, we treat the whole body, not just the symptoms. So in terms of the process, we look into the unique root causes for each individual and help you reverse them. What are these causes? We have already gone through this list. Just as a summary again: toxins, heavy metals, chronic infections, nutritional deficiencies, inflammation, poor gut health, mitochondria not being in good health, detoxification not happening properly, poor ability to handle stressful situations, radiation, Wi-Fi, etc., and poor hydration levels. These are some of the most common reasons leading to many health issues. Now, somebody asked in the chat, how do we know our gut function is improving? Hey, it's your gut function. If it improves, you will not know. Your digestion will be better. You will have less gas and bloating. You will have less reflux and acidity, right? Your bowel movements will be better. So those are symptoms that your body is healing. Your energy levels will improve. If you have headache, that will go. If you have body pain, that will go. Your sleep will improve. Periods flow will improve. They will become more regular, less painful, less cramps, right? You will feel more in tune with the body and mind. Your cravings will go down. Digestion will improve. Bowel movements will improve. And you will be less puffy and inflamed. Okay. These are things that will start happening within a few weeks of you starting to implement the suggestions that you receive if you join the program. So we offer this as a 12 weeks program, the hormone reset program. In terms of the different steps that it involves a very detailed history taking from everyone. Based on this and your symptoms, we give you test recommendations. What testing do you need to do? This is generally much more comprehensive than what is normally done, because we are not only interested in figuring out what is wrong, how high is your TSH level or how low is your T4 level, for example. We want to understand why it is wrong, right? Not what is wrong only, why it's all wrong. So we go much deeper into this. Once we get the results, we analyze it to understand what are the root causes, what are the triggers for an individual. And then we use this information to create a personalized plan, which will include nutritional changes, lifestyle recommendations, supplement plan, gut health, liver health improvement, okay, everything that is required. Because stress is a major issue, we will also share many techniques which you can use to manage your stress levels and slowly bring them down. We will take you through a guided 3 days detoxification process, which will help you clean up the body and start feeling much more healthier and vibrant and lighter. Everything that is needed for you to achieve all of this, whether it is shopping list or handouts on various topics, recipes, a lot of community, everything will be available to you. Live sessions will happen over the weekends to empower you with knowledge and motivation, and real-time support and hand-holding are part of the program anyways. They're inbuilt into the whole process. So the next batch will be starting the next Saturday, which is 10th of December. The group sessions will start. The process can start whenever you sign up, whenever you register. Okay, the group sessions will start on 10th of December. If you sign up tomorrow, your process starts tomorrow. The program cost as of now is 12,000 rupees, but for all of you who have joined this webinar today, we are giving a one-time discount. This will be available at 11,000 rupees for the next 3 days till 4th of December. If you sign up, you will be able to sign up for 11,000 rupees. So with that, we will open this up for questions. Give me a moment. I will change the settings so that you can even unmute yourself and ask your questions. But please ask one at a time so that it's easy to answer.
Hi, Dr. Siddarth.
Yes, Mona, please.
Yeah, so thank you for taking us through this informative program and patiently answering our questions on the WhatsApp for last few days. So as I said on the chat, this issue is with my husband and not me, and he's also listening here the webinar, and probably he can take the one-on-one session. But I wanted to understand the root cause of urticaria, which has been like troubling after we have taken the COVID booster jab in July. And we've gone through several rounds of tests in terms of the CBCs and the ultrasounds of gut. There was some infection which was there in the urine, but we were able to cure it through antibiotics, and now it is clear. And now on weekly steroids. So it keeps coming back. We've not gone for any food allergy test because that was not suggested by the doctor, saying that you will not be able to narrow down on what is actually causing the trigger.
Food allergy anyways is not really very helpful. It is food sensitivity that might be more helpful. But I understand your problem, and honestly, it's something that we are experiencing, very kind of commonly. Whether it is COVID or whether it is the booster, shots, also the vaccine shots, they have, by now it's well understood, well accepted, universally, that they have actually created a lot of immune function imbalance. They've also created a lot of inflammation in the body. And for different people, right, depending on where somebody's weak link is, the problem will show up in that part of the body, in that function of the body. So taking, steroids is only helping you manage the symptoms better. One has to do a much deeper dive into the system, into the symptoms, and understand what are the root causes driving this process for a unique individual. Okay, we've already discussed all those points. I don't want to, go over them again. But in short, the answer is that yes, functional medicine approach is very, very effective in reversing these issues.
Okay, so you mean to say that enrolling for the program, and then you will do another set of tests to find out that what is the real cause, and then accordingly address that. Also, leading on to my second question is that despite of you said eating fruits and vegetables and water, we understood that the RO is the main cause, and we were thinking to take some corrective actions to have some some alternate source of water. But what if people have been taking healthy food like raw amla, haldi, which is known
you
to
mentioned that in the group chat
in the WhatsApp. So is there something more to it? Is there something that we need to do more?
There is lots more to it, Vinti. There is lots more to it. Okay.
So Vinti, food was just one part of the causes that we mentioned today. There are so many other root causes contributing to the issue that you're talking about. So we need to look at it more holistically rather than just focusing on one aspect. That's food. Food is very important, no doubt, but then there are many other aspects as well.
All right, I understand. So we'll connect with you one-on-one for for taking support for my husband for urticaria, and who should I connect with on the same WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are few admin numbers there. You can reach out to one of those.
Okay.
So before we take up, we'll take up all the questions. I'll just launch another poll. I request all of you to answer that while we continue taking other questions.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. Thank you, Siddarth ji. Thank you.
All of you will see you guys can see a poll on your screen. So I request all of you to answer that. And yeah, while we do that, if others have questions, please unmute yourself and ask.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. This is Sumesh Manchanna here.
Okay.
Actually, I had a thyroid issue, a hyperthyroidism issue, sometime in April this year, okay, which was diagnosed as thyroiditis due to infection, okay. And I went to an endocrinologist, and I was put on steroids for about 25 days, after which the TSH and T3, T4 levels normalized, and they have been normal for the last 6 months. But my symptoms continue to persist. There are quite a few of them. And despite taking vitamins and also taking help of a functional medicine doctor, those symptoms haven't improved much.
So Sumesh, right?
Yes.
So Sumesh, if I'm sure there is still something missing that has not been covered in your last treatment, because of course steroids can just give you some symptomatic relief in calming down the immune system, but then there's definitely we have worked with cases like this where the trigger has probably gone after a COVID infection or after a certain dose of vaccine, and the entire immune system just went haywire. So, and this can be corrected. We definitely have to. You said you've taken certain supplements, but yes, I mean we'll have to look into what really was done, and what is still missing there was if there was a heavy metal load, was that taken care? Was there were the infections identified and treated? If what kind of nutritional insufficiencies were treated? So we'll have to get a better picture of what has been done, and where what is still missed and has not been worked upon. If we look into that, definitely the situation will improve.
Okay. I've been on a diet plan for about 3 months now, but a little more than 3 months, which included eliminating gluten and dairy and all of those things. I mean, but there are quite a few symptoms which haven't improved. For example, I haven't been able to gain back my lost weight. I lost about 10 kgs in a span of about 40 to 50 days. I gained back only about 3.5, 4 kgs. I gained a little, then I lost a little. So it's been a bit of a yo-yo kind of a thing.
So see, if you're eating and it's not becoming a part of your body, that means your gut health also needs to be worked upon. That is one thing. And then let's say your gut health is still okay, but then are your cells able to neutralize it? How bad is your mitochondrial function? Is your cells able to convert that into energy? So we need to look into these aspects as well. And there are tests which can be done to look for mitochondrial function, look for gut health.
Okay. Okay, all right. I guess we'll have to connect, and I'll have to give you more details on that.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anyone?
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Myself, Mona Singh. So I just wanted to ask about, because my son was being diagnosed as diabetic, but we are not very sure because his all antibodies and everything was very normal. His HbA1c comes to normal every time. But sometimes when he eats more of carbs and more of junky things, sugar levels go up. And we got this thyroid, TPO, and what is another one? Thyroglobulin levels. So I've sent you the report even. So in report, thyroglobulin levels were much higher, but TPO was normal, TSH, T3, T4, everything was normal. So what do you suggest? What kind of thyroid it would be? Like, I don't know, because doctors have not suggested anything. They said there is no need to worry about these thyroglobulin levels.
See, if the antibodies are high, that obviously means it's autoimmune mediated, right? And that is generally referred to as Hashimoto's hypothyroiditis. Correct. So, unfortunately, the normal medical system is not really equipped to handle this.
Exactly.
Okay. Which you have already realized by now, isn't it? But if you don't address the autoimmunity, it's like a fire which you haven't bothered to extinguish. It will go on spreading. Okay, it will go on increasing. So it's very, very important that the autoimmune component is addressed. Once you do that, your thyroid function will improve, your diabetic, whatever issues you're struggling with will improve. And I completely disagree with the statement that it's nothing to worry about, most importantly.
Exactly. My medicine doctor, he has told me that there is no need to worry about the thyroglobulin levels. If they are high in range, there is no need to do anything about it. Yeah. But what I'm finding is my son, he hasn't lost weight or he hasn't gained weight. So he's on a stabilized weight. So is it like that? Supposedly the weight is not gaining or losing.
It's the initial stage, right? You said the thyroid markers themselves are not, very high or low. It is the autoimmunity marker which is high. So that's a very initial stage. That level of damage has not yet happened. So it's actually a very good news for you, right? Okay, the more the damage happens, it's much more difficult to reverse, isn't it?
Okay, that's so great. That's so great. So we need to follow the diet which is mentioned for the hypothyroid people.
Diet is important, but that's not enough. There are many, many other aspects that need to be taken care of if the immune function has to come back into balance.
Okay. So it may be a possibility that this thyroid is creating some diabetic problem as well, because they told us to get his MODY test done because he's just 16 years of age. And the doctors have told to get his genetic MODY test done. So then only they'll be coming up with a thing what kind of sugar it is. They are not.
Let's understand this. See, I think you need to get a bigger picture of what exactly is happening with your son. Genetics can, only play a very small role. What kind of environment you're giving to your body determines whether the genes you are carrying will manifest or not. You may carry the best genes on earth, but then if you are giving it a bad lifestyle, bad diet, you are giving your body a lot of infections, the good genes will not do any good to our body. So you need to see the bigger picture. The genetic test, well, you can of course go ahead and do it, but then it will not answer, the questions that your child is currently struggling with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So this is basically known as the science of epigenetics, okay, where the understanding now is that your genes don't change. They change like a fraction of a percent in 10,000 years, okay? But out of the thousands of genes that we have, which genes will be active and which will be dormant, that completely changes. That can change every single day based on what you do, what kind of environment you create for the body. That's exactly what we're talking about, right?
Okay, so the genetic, my husband is diabetic, his grandparents were diabetic. So I was little in...
All of you are eating the same thing. All of you are exposed to the same environment. And I would say this to everyone out here. Many of you are here with an autoimmune condition. Many times the label is given based on, just it's genetic. But science has evolved a lot. Genetics has a very small role. Epigenetics is much, much bigger. And that is what we are choosing for our body on a daily basis. We choose our choice of food, our choice of what kind of life we live under, what kind of food we are drinking, what kind of stress we are giving to our body. That is deciding whether we are calling for autoimmunity or not. So, and that was the whole idea of also talking about so many different root causes in this webinar, so that you start thinking from a different perspective rather than just believing that, okay, somebody in the family had this problem, so I am bound to have it, or now that I've got it, I have to live with it. That's not the end of a decision, or you need to start looking at things in a very different way. So we have a question here in the chat box from Pankuri. So Pankuri, how does the program works, as in the duration and the process? So it's a 12-week program, and there are two components to the program. One is the personalized aspect, where we will ask you to complete a detailed history form, and based on that, the investigations would be advised. And then once we get your reports, we do a root cause analysis based on the signs and symptoms and the investigations. And a personalized treatment plan is made, a consultation is set up, and then you start implementing the action plan that we have given you. And then a second consultation happens towards the end of the 12 weeks to know how the program is going for you. And it's basically a follow-up. And the second aspect of the program is the education and empowerment, where now it's very important that we just don't give you, okay, this is the recommendation, you have to do that. You also need to understand the logic, reasoning behind why, what is being advised to you. And that is where we conduct live Zoom sessions over weekend. And these are taken by myself and Siddarth on different topics that is important in your healing journey. And so you attend these sessions, you get to understand the reasoning behind different things that we have advised in the treatment plan, and also that's part of the program. And as a part of the program, you also get complete guidance on a 3-day juice fasting, which is a proven way to reset your metabolism, and has various other outcomes. There are different techniques that we teach during the program for internal healing, for stress management. You have a complete guidance on the kind of diet you need to stick. You have the entire community basically, which is also working towards a similar goal. So that is how the program is designed.
Yes, and I just want to take one step back and address this question of genetics. Okay, the photograph that you see here are two identical sisters. They're identical twins, which means they have exactly the same genes. Okay, now by the time they are into their 40s, you can see the difference in the health of the two. One, the sister on the right, has heart disease and this and that, autoimmunity, everything. The other one has none of those diseases. What is different? The environment that they gave themselves, right? So the one on the right side, she has been eating all kinds of crap food, processed foods, this and that, smoking and alcohol, etc. And the body has deteriorated because genes do not create disease. Okay, genetic ailments are very, very few in number. All of these are lifestyle chronic ailments that we are talking about, whether it is diabetes or thyroid or the PCOD or whatever. These are not genetic ailments at all. So it is your choices that create the disease, or they don't. Okay, I just wanted to show you this as a reminder. Somebody has asked in the chat that can hypothyroidism be reversed if one is taking thyroid medicine for the last 26 years? So my question to you is, if you get an injury, is your body capable of healing it still till the last day of our life? Yes, it is, right? It can heal. So it can also heal your thyroid. Why not? You just have to understand what are the reasons which are blocking that process of healing, and give the body what it needs, take away what it doesn't want. Healing will happen. It has to happen.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask, I am still not sure about, how is this process going to happen? It's just that you will ask us to make lifestyle changes and, purification.
You unmuted yourself. You muted yourself, Raju. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only thing that is, will be the part of the treatment. I'm still not clear about the treatment that we will go through with this 12 weeks session. Lifestyle changes, I understood. You have to sleep on time and eat healthy food and not in plastic, and don't get exposed to more of this, how to manage stress and all that, I understood. But then what else other than that will be a part of the treatment that will help us reverse our conditions?
So you can see the slide, Rajul, in front of your screen, right? So we will be addressing all these things: toxins, infections, deficiencies, inflammation, gut health, mitochondria function, better stress coping, non-native EMF, hydration, and all these will be addressed with the help of lifestyle, with the help of right diet, with the help of certain supplements, with the help of certain techniques. All these will be achieved. So it will be a proper treatment plan where a a part would be diet, a part would be lifestyle, a part would be certain supplements. So this way, this is how your treatment would be designed.
Ma'am, can
Hey,
gallbladder
I wanted to ask you. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm Swati. Can I ask a question?
Yes, so just 1 second. I hope the previous, I think, what was the name? Rajul. I hope Rajul, your question is answered.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes, Swati, please.
Sorry, doctors. So I just want to know the thing, like if we are taking a medication for a longer period of time for mental health condition, will that be cured as well? Because it's been long now, and the other things that I'm facing for a longer period of time after COVID started, and before that also in between, like forgetfulness, mood swings, and anger issues basically. So these are the things that are actually, because we all are talking about physical conditions in the chats also, have seen that, but I'm being transparent in the chat, and just I want to know about all these things as well. Will that be cured as well in this program?
Yes. So, see, understand this, that what is happening in the mind is again not independent of what is happening in the rest of the body. It is connected. It's a lot dependent on the neurotransmitters, where 80% of the neurotransmitters are made in the gut. Okay. So, again, then the mental symptoms are very much connected to what is happening in your gut, how your liver is functioning, what your nutritional sufficiencies are, right? Whether you are getting enough sun exposure. So all these are connected. And as we start addressing those things, you will start seeing the need of the drugs that's currently being taken to manage these mental symptoms. The need of the drugs will start coming down.
That's a very positive answer, because I'm also facing that some kind of hunger issues. Like if I'm eating a lot. If I'm not eating, I'm not eating at all. I cannot, like a stress eating kind of thing that you can call it. So this is happening from many years now, and I have now started acknowledging all these things. Before that, I wasn't aware and very much ignorant about all these things. Now I am very much open towards, because why I'm talking here in front of all participants, because everyone has spoken about their physical health condition, but mental health conditions are equally very important if we want to. Yeah, and it's very, very difficult to come out of this. It's very difficult to openly talk about these things. So it's like a platform that I have got to talk about all these things. And maybe the people are not talking, or if they are having, it's still they are not coming.
Less spoken.
Yeah. So yes, so that is something actually very important to lead a very healthy life, because this is hampering, and this is a very big hindrance in the success in the growth of our lives as well. So
absolutely, and that is where one component of the program is also is on the on certain techniques that help in the mind healing as well. So Siddarth is those.
So we do have certain techniques that we offer to the group anyways. But for someone, if they, let's say, need some extra support in that direction, we can offer them some extra support as well.
Okay. Thank you so
much. Some guidance we can give in that direction.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to ask one question. Is having gallbladder stones. So as you were telling that gallbladder it plays an important role. So if we'll be joining the program, so will you be catering those ones? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Without liver function being improved, you cannot really expect big time improvements in health. And once again, I will request you to go to our website hormonereset.in/blog. There is a blog on gallbladder stones. You should read that. It will give you a lot of understanding of why this happens and how it can be solved.
Oh, that's great. So could you put this link in the group as well? That
sure. We can put it in the WhatsApp group.
Hi, this is Namrata here. I just wanted to ask you about a lot of autoimmune diseases. The approach which I understand here is that, yes, despite the tests, there will be customized plants for everybody with the different health issues. But what I've understood so far is that there are a lot of different types of autoimmune, as we spoke about Hashimoto as well, but there are different types of Hashimoto's. One, more or less everything associated with thyroid, but something which affects brain, something which affects different part of the bodies. How are they different from each other, and how does something which is tested, autoimmunes which is tested positive, turns out to be negative in future point in time, and how do they differ from each other? How does the program differ?
You can go back to the slide that I showed on autoimmunity, and if you understand the whole process, the process is happening at a certain level in your body. Generally, it is starting in your gut. Okay. And there can be toxins and chronic infections, etc., which can aggravate the problem. Okay. Once autoimmunity has built up, it will target some function or some organ in your body.
Okay.
That is what you see as a symptom. Somebody it is thyroid, somebody it is multiple sclerosis, somebody it is lupus, something else. But the fundamental process has to be addressed first.
Okay, got it.
Yes, we can do certain things for those specific symptoms also, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you understand where is the source of that fire, where is the source of that problem, and what is causing the problem there, and address that.
Got it. Now, why I'm talking about this is something as serious as it leading to seizures and everything. The anti-epileptics, which could be caused because of the other problems underlying, the doctors wouldn't stop, or even the support structure wouldn't stop this medicine for the symptoms. How does any of these go in hand with those the regular medicines, so they can continue as it is? And this
yes. See, for those kind of problems, you should not stop your medication suddenly.
Okay, got it.
As your overall health starts improving, the requirement for the medicine will anyway start going down, and then you can start tapering it off in consultation with your medicine provider, with your doctor.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
So hi doctor, my name is Anthony.
Yes, Anthony.
Yeah. So 5 years back, I was just diagnosed with thyroid. So my TSH level was 15, and I've taken the antibody test. It was negative. So after that, I haven't taken any thyroid medication. So then later on, what happened? I was just attacked with that kind of hypochondria anxiety, they call it as. So anxiety and the kind of fear it was coming. Then doctor told you have to take thyroid medicine to overcome this kind of anxiety, and they given me the pill of anxiety medicine. So I'm just continuing both the medicine, but now the thyroid level is seems to be like under 4 or 5, but still the anxiety, it doesn't comes down. Now what happens in the midnight, like suddenly if I woke up, suddenly my heartbeat raises, that kind of panic attack. I've taken all the tests, it is normal, but that symptoms keeps on coming. Not only that, I have as you said, the gut issues. So due to that, my what is that, acid reflux, it happens in the throat where mucus is accumulated. So even though thyroid level is normal, but still I'm facing this kind of symptoms.
Your thyroid level is basically being regulated by the external hormone that you've taken. And that's why your lab ranges look normal. Again, if it's around 4 or 5, it's still not normal. It should be below 2.5, when you would say a thyroid function, the TSH less than 2.5 is what is normal. So you've just been managing your thyroid levels, not really your thyroid condition. And if you have a bad gut, you have gut issues, definitely then your neurotransmitters are not made, which will then impact your mind. And that's why your symptoms of anxiety, panic, all those exist. Because the neurotransmitters are made in the gut and your gut health is messed up.
So whenever that panic attack happens in the night, if I take a pill only, it will get reduced, that anxiety pill.
That is symptomatic. That is
okay.
That's like you have pain and you take a painkiller to suppress it, right?
Okay.
You have to, I'm sure you are aware of the gut-brain axis, right?
Yes.
So now what most people don't know is that 90% of the information is flowing from the gut to the brain.
Okay.
Not the other way around. Okay. So what is happening in the gut has a huge impact on the brain.
So what are the tests it is suggested for gut problem?
We have quite a few, we have a few advanced tests that we do. I mean,
Okay.
I can give you the name, but it won't make any sense to you, just the name. These are
So
known
because
as
most of
organic
the
acids.
LFT means kidney test
No,
and
no, those are regular tests. They won't tell you much about gut function. They can only give you very little information. We have something called the organic acids testing panel, which is focused on all of these issues.
So these tests can be done in other labs or any specified lab?
There's just one lab in India which offers, one or two labs.
Okay.
This is not available normally.
Okay. Okay. So if in case if I follow the proper plan, so I can able to overcome.
Absolutely. See, I remember this, I think 3-4 months back, we had a participant who was on full anti-depression, anti-anxiety medication for 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. And in 3 months, almost all her symptoms of anxiety, depression, and physical health symptoms have completely gone.
Okay.
And now we have started, reducing her medication, the anti-anxiety and antidepressant medication also.
Okay, so and
17 years she was on medication. So yes, it is possible, 100% possible.
And finally, like so in my chest, that this thing is then a nipple in the chest. Even that, as always, a kind of itching or it will get swollen. I have to keep on pulling, then only it will be fine. That it's due to an hormone imbalance.
Can be hormone imbalance. It could also be some skin infection, mild infection.
Okay.
And your symptoms are actually talking about quite bad infection in the gut.
Fine.
And those infections can also travel to the skin.
Oh.
Yes.
Sure, doctor. Fine. Yeah.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I have lupus and RA positive. Though my bones are fine. And I have some gut issues which started recently only. So how can you help me out?
So right now, Kavita, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kavita, you've mentioned 2 autoimmune conditions that you're struggling with, and you've mentioned that you do have gut issues, right? Now, as Siddarth mentioned, that it's just a different name when a different organ is involved in autoimmunity. So be it any kind of autoimmune condition, it may, in many cases, it may start with lupus, or in some cases, RA or psoriasis, Hashimoto. It starts with one autoimmunity, and if the causes are not addressed, it will start involving other organs. So in your case also, it could have started with one kind of autoimmunity, and then now you see it is affecting your joints, it's affecting your skin. So this way it's impacting different parts, and you're being diagnosed with a new autoimmune condition. So the approach will be, again, identifying what is at play. In your case, you've already mentioned about the gut health. So I'm sure gut infections can be there, gut dysbiosis can be there. We will definitely look for heavy metals, which are, again, one major cause of autoimmunity. Nutritional imbalances, poor mitochondrial function. So we will have to investigate for all of these with the help of detailed investigations, and identify what are at play in your case, and then address them. And how would we address that? It has to be a very clean anti-inflammatory diet. The lifestyle has to be anti-inflammatory. So every possible thing that you can change around you, which will make it conducive for your healing. And lastly, if there is heavy metals, we will have to use certain supplements to remove the heavy metals from the body. If there are infections, we have to use certain supplements to address the infections. Nutrient deficiencies will be addressed. A lot of lifestyle changes will be there, which will help in improving the mitochondrial function. So this is how we would address it.
Okay, and you recommended some tests.
Yes.
So are they very costly or somewhat?
So if we have to give you a budget, for example, for the test, if someone's struggling with autoimmunity, you can the cost towards a test would be somewhere between 10 to 12K.
Okay.
which again is very cost effective. When you see, similar test, if we want to get it done from a US lab, they are very expensive. They're 4 to 5 times expensive.
Because someone suggested me this food allergy test from Denmark.
Okay. So let's say you get a food allergy test, right? Now, food allergy, why someone is struggling with food allergy? Because their gut microbiome isn't diverse. That's why you're eating something, but it's not able, your gut is not able to digest, it's not able to process it, and hence your immune system is hyperreactive. But it's not helping you to identify why you are having food allergy. Okay,
It's
so
only
food
telling you
allergy
which food
is
you are
not a-
allergic to.
yeah.
It's
Because
only telling you what.
I
It's
was
not telling
eating
you why.
everything and I was fine. And it is from the recent 2-3 months.
See, that's the, you can call it the beauty or the problem with food allergies. It's basically food sensitivities. They will not manifest immediately. They will only show their colors over a period of time.
Okay.
Also, if you are going ahead with a food test, my suggestion will be to focus on a sensitivity test. Allergy test will not give you any useful information. Sensitivity will be much more useful.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right. So I'll take
Ma'am,
one.
a blood test or something else even?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Would all the tests be blood test or something else you will be also doing?
So blood test would be one detailed test that we do in case of, based on the symptoms, if we see there is a need to get a gut health test done, then that is a dry blood and dry urine based kit based test. If we see, heavy metals, again, depending on heavy metals can also be tested in the blood. It can also be tested with the help of hair. We will see what is needed for that person and then advise accordingly.
Actually, my son, he'll not be able to get it done because he has that phobia of getting blood tests done. So that would even be a problem for us.
So at least some testing would be needed. Without testing, it would be more like, we are assuming things, which again, not recommend doing that.
So would you be sending your person to get it done, or as somebody was
We
asking?
won't send anyone. We will connect, we will provide you the contacts of labs which can help you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So there's a question in the chat, Gayatri, whether growth hormone deficiency can be reversed. So Gayatri, we will have to see if the growth hormone deficiency that you're talking about, if that is, from birth. So basically, there is no production at all in the body, or if it is, it is suppressed in the body, the growth hormone, production is suppressed. So we need to, if it's a second case, definitely we can help. But if it's the first case, then there's not much that we can do.
Can you share some light on the new supplements part of it? So when you say there might be need of certain supplements, what kind of supplements, and where do we source those supplements? So your thoughts on that, please.
Yeah, these supplements would be vitamins, would be minerals, probiotics, would be certain things to support the liver function, to aid in the detoxification process. It can be certain herbs to address certain infections. So that's how we decide on, various supplements that we use. And as far as sourcing them, we will provide you the online links and you can make a purchase.
Okay, but you mean to say that it's not from a particular brand, or there could be natural replacements of the same?
So if you're saying, okay, I won't take supplements, I'll take everything from the food, it's difficult. Food today is not that nutrient dense.
I understand, but at the same time, supplements are certified very differently in India than they are in other parts of the world. And there are so many options available out there. And
We recommend few brands that we have used and we have seen good clinical outcomes. So it's not like, there's one brand and that's the best for all the supplements. That's not the case. So with our experience, we have identified certain products which have brought good clinical outcomes. So, and they're different for different supplements. So we give those options.
All right, thank you.
Okay, can vitiligo also will be reversed or cured?
See, good improvement with vitiligo can be achieved. Again, it's an autoimmune condition, so the progress can definitely be stopped. Further appearance of new patches, those can definitely be stopped with if one implements the recommendations. Repigmentation can happen, but it's a slow process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how much time will it?
See, I won't be able to give you a timeline on this for the repigmentation part. See, everybody is different. In the cases that we have worked with for vitiligo, we have been able to stop the progress of the of further spread in the body. And repigmentation is happening, but it happens slowly.
Okay.
Sorry, one more question regarding how early can we do these tests? If a child is, if a child is about 4 or 5 years old and we suspect some kind of, because she was talking about vitiligo, we have seen certain symptoms in my brother's case and in my child's case, wherein the repigmentation issue is there. And eventually it's led to other autoimmune diseases in my brother's case. So I would want my child also to get those tests done and tap it as early as possible. So how early do you suggest these kind of tests to be done, and if at all, at what interval?
So what do you mean by how early? Do you mean whether you can do it for a 4-year-old child? Is that your question?
Yeah, yes, that's the question. And if all of these, see, as you said, these kind of autoimmunes are environmental triggered. Today, it might not be there when the tests are done, and tomorrow it could be triggered. So
you can do a test even for a 1-year-old child, and we work with children of all ages. So when to do the test is not really a concern. It can be done for any age group. And I would say one doesn't need to wait for any disease to manifest. One can start making the changes in the lifestyle, in the food, and just have a healthy life, right from today. You don't have to wait for for any manifestation to happen. So you can make the changes for your child right away.
Yeah, I understand. But the definition of healthy, is this a very relative term? What you see as healthy.
To cover that in this webinar, Namrata. So I think that's.
I think once I go through the program, I think I'll understand more. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Nalini.
Yes, actually, I have one question. Wi-Fi device is impacting on pregnancies or our body?
Wi-Fi devices are affecting what?
Or on pregnancy or our body?
Pregnancy.
Yes.
Yes, it does. See, any Wi-Fi devices are sources of non-native EMF. And non-native EMF means electromagnetic frequencies which are not natural. They are man-made. Okay. And our body is affected by it. Our mitochondrial function is affected by it. And a child is much more affected than an adult. And that's why we see that during COVID, for example, so many children, started developing problems, autoimmunity, autism, all that, because the Wi-Fi has impacted that. And when a mother is pregnant, so what is happening to her body is definitely impacting the child.
ओके सो इसके ऊपर लाइक सॉल्यूशन क्या है? इसका सपोज डिस्टेंस हम लोगों ने मतलब डिस्टेंस ज्यादा रखा वाईफाई डिवाइस का, तो इसका इम्पैक्ट
वाईफाई
कम
कम से
होगा।
कम से कम यूज करना है, सोते समय बिल्कुल नहीं यूज करना है, वाईफाई ऑफ रखना है।
अब सपोज दूसरे रूम में रखा वाईफाई डिवाइस, सो इसका इम्पैक्ट कम होगा या फिर
कम होगा आपका जो रेडिएशन जोन है, ऑफ कोर्स वो डिस्टेंस कम हो जाएगा, लेकिन इम्पैक्ट रहता है, एंड स्पेशली एट नाइट व्हेन द बॉडी इज हीलिंग, दैट्स व्हेन you should not be exposing yourself to a Wi-Fi.
ओके ओके थैंक यू।
Okay, all right.
Hi.
Yes, we'll take one last question. Yeah,
Hi.
please.
We can't hear you. Hello.
No, we can't hear you.
You can put your question in the chat, or if you
Yeah.
join the WhatsApp group, you can ask it there as well later on. Okay, it's quite late. It's past 9 o'clock, quite a bit past 9 o'clock. We will, let all of you go. It's been wonderful, presenting this possibility to all of you, and also interacting with all of you. We hope to be able to help all of you with, reversing of these issues. So I'll hand over to Dr. Ratika to close the session.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi and Siddarth for enlightening us. I'm sure everyone present here has found at least one root cause of their problem, and have already started thinking in terms of addressing the root cause rather than symptomatically treating their ailments. So with this, we end this session, and I hope we can see many of you joining our program. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.